All right, we got biceps, a little bit of back today. We'll talk about that slightly, and then I'll go over something else that one of my friends that I coach messaged me with one of their check-ins, and I'm not gonna go into the details, but I'll just explain something that you can maybe take a part of, as in his situation. Whatever. I'll get into details in a second. But back and by today, it's not just biceps. If I was going in there just to hit biceps, I feel like that'd be poor programming on anyone's end. Even then, at least just make it like an arm day or something. So, splits PPL. Doesn't really matter what split you do, obviously, but I just changed the different pull days. So it's push, pull, legs, rest, push, pull, legs, rest, then repeat. And each of the pull days, push days, leg days are different focuses. So the only difference between this pull day and the other one is the amount of volume I do per muscle group. Sorry, I just chugged a liter of water with pre-workout. So today just has more volume, as in more sets for biceps, less sets for back. And then my other pull day is more sets for back, so it's my back day with a little bit of biceps at the end. Why? A few reasons. One of them, can make the workout get done in a reasonable amount of time instead of doing full routine of back, full routine of biceps. Because even this, I guess today, giving it back and biceps doesn't take as long, but for most muscle groups, it usually takes pretty long if you try to do everything for the full amount of volume you need. Another reason is it can help with recovery. I found for me is given the frequency. You usually end up hitting stuff twice a week, given it's an 8-day cycle. Especially for quads or something. If you hit it, it comes around 4 days again. I found a lot of the time stuff was just overlapping with just being sore, which I knew it was a training issue, not a diet issue, because the diet was on point. I know that's on point. Track my weight's good, sleep's good. All the other boxes were checked, so it had to come down with the training part of it. I just found instead of making it 50-50 split with the volume, if I do I'll focus on one day, and then today, since it's not mainly back, if I just do a couple exercises of it, I can get a pump in my back, and I don't I want to say destroy it. I don't hit it enough to where when I hit my full back day in a few days that it's not sore going into a back day, because that's kind of pointless. And it also helps check the box of total amount of sets per week per muscle group, all right? Which I think is usually less spoken about, but is honestly the key point. I wouldn't be overly concerned about how many exact sets you do per muscle group in one day, to a point. But realistically, it matters more throughout the entire week. How many sets you get within this time frame instead of just within a day time frame, over a longer time frame, all right? That's the point I'm trying to get at. So I'm able to get more back sets in for my total weekly volume while not making it my entire focus today. Great example of that is if somebody does an upper-lower split, which I guess you hit pretty low volume per muscle group but higher frequency. I'm not a fan with it. I'd rather just hit the same muscle group for the whole session. It's up to personal preference. There's really not much of a fuss over it. So yeah, that's just the rationale behind today's lift. So it'll be two exercises back, 3 biceps. Just given the nature of biceps, you don't have to do 1,000 sets. So it's just 3 exercises. It's the focus bicep day. Yeah. So we can talk about a buddy of mine. He sent me a check-in. Vacation for a week, came back, was down 4 pounds when we're starting to push a bulk. Went off training for a week, right? Yeah, he's kind of well, what happened? Maybe a little discouraged about it, and kind of explained when when you take a week off of lifting, sorry, there's apparently a fair going on over here. When you take like a week off of lifting, almost always that weight drop, if it's around like 3 to 5 pounds, is water weight. Meaning, when you train, right, you hit the muscle, after it, we know from when you get like a pump or it feels like inflated the next day, well, that's part of inflammation. But on top of that, carbs, the food you eat, gets shuttled into your muscle cells, and carbs, the nature of how it looks, the molecule glucose, it holds on to water. So when carbs get shuttled in there, water gets shuttled in there as well, right, to help in recovery. So when you don't hit a muscle group for like a week straight, all the water and the carbs that were inside of the muscle, they don't just stay in there, they leave the muscle. That's not a bad thing, it's just what happens after you don't hit it, and then it gets the carb shuttled in there after hitting the muscle, right? That's why it looks like puffy, and part of this inflammation, yes, but part of it's the water as well. And that happens after a week, and you can most of the time say that you dropped the weight, that water weight, that's the water weight we're talking about. We're not just saying it's some random number drop, it's that. So I told them that we were going to keep like the training, the cardio, and the diet the same for the week. See if your body weight jumps back up to where it should be, and then we'll adjust from there. And then if your body weight like doesn't go back up, then maybe we can make more adjustments to add more carbs, as in just more calories to your day, and then adjust from there. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because I know when I've had a week off before, I've been on vacation and come back, I feel like the need to get back to that number on the scale of like when I was down 5 pounds from a week, and I just really wanted to get back to the number, and I just felt like I don't want to say ego detachment, but like it felt like, I don't know, like a loss of identity. I don't know, fuck the philosophical stuff. I just wanted to get back to that number and feel good about seeing that number on the scale when I woke up. So instinctually, you just start eating more food than you normally would that's in your meal plan, or eating more than you think. Try to get that number back, which is not the answer, as I just said. So you shouldn't really change anything until maybe a week after, diet-wise, because you want to just see how your body responds to get back into the gym. Because otherwise, you're trying to adjust your diet, your training, based off of something that we don't know if you actually just lost straight like 5 pounds of muscle or fat, which that's not going to happen. But point be made is that you don't want to just make adjustments because you see the number change. You want to get back to a certain number. That's not how it works. Hopefully that made sense. Because I know when was this? I guess I already described it. It was 2-3 years ago, maybe. Went on vacation for a week. Like, exact same scenario. Went down like 5 to maybe like 7 pounds. And you could also tell that it was water weight because I was super vascular when I came back. You look super vascular when your muscles aren't holding on to a bunch of water, right? So it has that watery look, and you look drier. That's another way to tell. Not always, but most of the time. So, I mean, putting the pieces together of like, okay, down 5 pounds, you look way more vascular, haven't been training, like, we can conclude what your body's doing, how to adjust from there. Instead of just saying, fuck, let me get back to 205 pounds. Like, I want to get back there. I'm back to like 199. I don't like seeing that I'm under 200 pounds. It's like, chill out. You're good. Get back to it. And it's not the end of the world. Nothing bad happened. So, all right. We'll start with back, even though it's a bicep day. And then just fucking crank it out. It's Sunday at 4 o'clock. I guess the Super Bowl is today. Whatever. All right. See you guys in there. All right. Let's start with this for back. I don't know, just a horizontal movement and a vertical movement. I guess you could call this horizontal. It's kind of more vertical, but you get the point. We'll do this lat pull downs, and then we'll go into preacher curls. What else we got? Some type of hammer curl. Some, they're called Bayesian curls. Cable's behind you, pull both arms like that, and that'll be it for today. It should be a quicker lift just because it's back and by. Okay. That was it for back. Okay. Let's do this start for biceps. Honestly, whatever's open. I like to start with the preacher curl first, honestly, but it doesn't really matter which one I start with. I might just still keep everything like higher up, given I still feel like crap. And I don't know. I don't want to say that I'm just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Lofting through a workout, or kind of just breezing through it. Still trying to get a good workout in. Just given I was sick like 4 days ago, it's easy enough just to change the rep ranges and still train hard for it. So, all right. All right, let's check it out. been awfully quick posing sessions the past week. I guess 2 weeks, honestly. Fucking ever since I got back from winter break, entire month, all the lifts have been quicker. I just haven't talked as much during the lifts. Just want to get them in. And start working on making YouTube videos that are like at my desk. They're like more educational. At least in its own individual video, other than like the shit I may say during my workouts or in the car. So, it's okay. I'm still gonna make sure I keep up on it. I can definitely say that today's workout wasn't as intense as the norm. My head is still, I told you I'm not sick anymore. And I'm not trying to beat a dead horse of saying, oh, I'm sick. Like, nobody cares, but I will say my head is still pounding. And I don't think I'm doing myself any justice trying to go above and beyond at this exact moment, 2 days after basically being bedridden, to try and hit PRs, especially being like 5 weeks on the mini cut. So, given the context, not the end of the world. I'm probably going to be able to do tomorrow's lift about the same intensity, then have my rest day, and then be back to like 100. So, I see it as like the past 4 days as being kind of like get back into routine. Because I can definitely tell, I can say my strength is going down. Maybe not, but everything feels a little heavier, especially after being sick. It definitely takes away from your like strength, like being sore when you're sick, because your immune system is trying to fight a sickness and uses resources to help fuel itself to fight the sickness. One of those resources is carbs you eat. Another resource is your muscle. It uses a bunch of shit just because obviously it wants to survive and kill the disease. So, or what do you want to call it? Sickness, not a disease. So, all right, I'll talk more in the car. All right, let's get out of here. Oh. What were we talking about? Hold on, make sure I don't get it. Just had to let the sun soak in for a minute. What were we talking about before we got here? Oh, a week of vacation. I guess there's not much more to talk about on that. I guess on the workout side, what's there to talk about today's workout? Oh, I guess I can explain a little more of the rep ranges just for today, given the context. Because my head's pounding. I said this yesterday, I'll say it again today. 6 to 8 reps, technically more effective at signaling growth in the muscle. Just there's a drawback, which is it's also more taxing on your head. Have you ever had that like head pounding feeling? That happens more with heavier weight, lower reps. So, given today, I was trying to give my head a break for a minute while still going to the gym. So do everything 10 to 15 reps. Can help my head chill out a minute and not be cranking out super heavy weight and just beating a dead horse. So that's how I decided to go about it today. And yeah, if you think about like power lifters, the amount of weight they do, and how taxing that is, like a PR, like a 1 rep PR, That's the whole reason why they take deload weeks, and it is intentionally structured in their routine, is because of how much stress a PR, as in the heavy weight, low reps, puts on your head, given that it was like as heavy as you possibly can, that you actually need to take like a week of lower weight, and honestly just like a recovery week from doing that much weight, which is what we want to avoid to a degree in bodybuilding. We don't want to, we want to prolong as much as we can before we get to the point where we're like, all right, we need to take an extra day off from the gym to help have that recovery of our CNS fatigue, systemic fatigue, whatever you'd like to call it. That being is just because it's unnecessary to just hammer 6 reps for every single exercise to get the most out of a bodybuilding context. So throwing in both rep ranges can help with getting the effectiveness from the lower reps, still getting enough volume in from the higher reps, like volume in from your total workout, and also prolonging the need to take an additional day, or like the feeling of like I gotta pull back on what I'm doing because your head's pounding. So it's all like a balancing act between itself. But for powerlifting, the balancing is, you're not just gonna like do higher reps as a powerlifter. You're still gonna do your 1 rep max, but your balancing is the deload week, of a week where you deload, you take off the load, the weight. You probably do like half the amount of weight and kind of just get back to systemic baseline, if that makes sense. So that's how they balance it. And bodybuilding balances is just trying to prolong it. That makes sense. So, and that's also another concept along with how like bulks are across like a few month span, and you don't just bulk for a week and then cut for a week and bulk for a week and cut for a week. It's because you try to prolong it to get the most out of it. That's how it works for most things related to bodybuilding. And even then, for like bulking, it gets to a point, it's like, well, why don't we just bulk for 2 years straight and don't cut once? It's like, well, on the other side of it is like, gets to a point where your body's like, it's not going to want to do it anymore, and it's actually going to just have diminishing returns that are like shit returns, like not good returns, that it's counterproductive. Which is why you throw in like mini cuts and what's going on? Throw mini cuts, yeah, like you prep for a show, and like you give yourself those month, 2 month breaks, going the opposite direction of losing weight, to get back to it. Same way the deload or taking a rest day. So same concept, pretty much. That makes sense. What else are we talking about? Gonna have some cream of rice, whey drip, some like 10 grams of peanut butter when I get home. It's been the post-workout. It's fast digesting, apart from the peanut butter, but it's such a small amount of peanut butter to where it's not gonna make a difference. 10 grams of peanut butter is nothing. But it's in there just because it helps me hit my total daily fat goal, while spacing it out throughout my meals throughout the day, instead of like hammering one meal with way more fat. That makes sense. Because the whey protein powder and the cream of rice are both very, very fast digesting, and obviously is good after a workout. You want to be able to throw that food back into your muscles and energy stores as quick as possible. It doesn't have to be as quick as possible, but ideally, quicker. You know what I mean? Obviously, you can go like a few, or maybe a couple hours after your workout without eating, but of course you're going to want to get a meal back in. So, easy enough having something like that. Because then you can get your other meals in for the rest of the day as well. Like, I wouldn't consider it ideal having like a steak after your workout, because it's going to take longer for you to digest it, and then you get shuttled to your muscles to help recovery. So, but at the end of the day, it's not the biggest difference in like your body composition, like how you look, but it does help. Like, biggest things I'd say is like calorie intake, calorie adjustments relative to your weight change per week. Are you training hard? Are you actually sleeping like 7 hours a night at least? Stuff like that. That's obviously the main stuff. This is just like smaller details that help, yes, but aren't going to make or break your progress. So yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, I used to try and make sure I got food in like as quick as possible after a workout, because I thought that it would like take away from the effectiveness of the lift. I remember Sam Solik did the same shit before, except I didn't go to the extent that he did. He would have like a dextrose shake. If you're what's it called? OG enough to know those videos. He used to have a dextrose shake in his post-workout in the car as soon as he got to the car. And thing is, you really actually don't need to have something immediately after, as in like the millisecond after. But within a couple hours, yeah. Because I knew that. I'm probably losing here, my bad. I know that the 2 times where you're actually building muscle is 1, after you work out, 2, when you're sleeping. So I was like, well, shit, if this is the time that I'm like actually building muscle, I gotta get the food in. It's like, well, you actually have a buffer, all right? Your body is just immediately starting to degrade after you work out because you didn't eat something. You know what I mean? You ate before, you're good. So yeah, that's definitely something I changed. Like, I would be, I don't want to say panicking, but I'd be like, if I had to stop somewhere before going home to eat, I'd be like on edge and like irritated until I got home to eat, because I thought that I was like missing out on gains. Like, I'd be at the store, so if we needed to, I'd be like, fuck, let's get out of here. I gotta eat. So, yeah, I'm not really like that anymore. So, well, I'm gonna call it there. It's been a good talk on the way home. Tomorrow we got glutes and hammies. We'll do that. Day after that's a rest day, and we'll be back to the normal routine after that. So, appreciate y'all watching. What is this, day 90? Fuck, 10 more days, and we hit the goal of 100 days of filming. I didn't realize how long it feels to actually be filming for 100 days. Like, it doesn't sound like that much, right? 3 months, basically. 3 months and 2 weeks-ish. Sounds like, oh, that's just being consistent for a little bit. Well, honestly, the more you get into it, it's like, this actually feels like a while of filming. I can't remember the last time I went to the gym and just wasn't filming while, like, holding a camera while walking around the gym to do my next set. So yeah, I guess almost there. I'm probably still gonna film after that, so I doubt it. I doubt I'll just stop. But or maybe I'll adjust the way I make content. Either way, we'll figure it out. Appreciate y'all watching. Peace.